Because I always do, I give honor to God first. You know, this is a great victory for us, but I know He had a hand in this, and that's how these things happen. You know, I thought our kids had a great week, great 2 weeks. You know, we just lost the game. We just lost the game within that period of time. I didn't think the effort was lacking, even on the road against Wright State. I thought we fought all the way to the end. And they're in such a learning phase that you're going to have breakdowns. You're going to have a lot of these different things. And what we try to do is minimize them so we still put ourselves in a position to have success. But the thing I thought they did a great job today was defending their key players. Number one was we said we got to work on McCallum. Now he ended up having a good game, but I don't know if it was because of our lack of effort on him. And the other one we said Celeste, he had 27 last game. We held him to 6. I thought that was a good. And I also thought we did a good job on Minraf. I thought it was a team effort. It wasn't an individual effort. And I thought every player wanted to add something to have success tonight.
Questions for Sebastian and Brent?
Brent, you had a sizzling first half. Can you give us just your overall thoughts of the game in general?
I don't know. I was feeling pretty confident, but we played great defense, which got me open a few times, on fast breaks. We just ran our plays too.
McCallum is one of the best guards, not only in the Horizon League, but probably in this region. Yes, he scored 22, but you did, in spurts, have an outstanding defense on. Can you talk about that? Either one of you?
Well, Sebastian was one of the ones that guarded. So go ahead, Sebastian.
Go ahead, yeah, Sebastian.
I kind of spearhead our defensive charge, and I take a lot of pride in that. With guys like that, you got to just stay solid. And then our defense is pressure, so that's what I'm gonna spearhead and lead. And again, it was a tough cover. He was quick, and I just stayed in front and stayed solid and stayed disciplined. That was a big part of what I did tonight. So,
Brent, being from Michigan, was there any extra motivation playing against Detroit today?
I mean, I played against Ray McCallum in high school in the state championship game. He had a 20 game in the first half. So yeah, I mean, I wanted to beat him for sure. But yeah, I knew a few of them guys, so.
And you were very modest before when asked about your first half scoring, especially with the coach sitting here. You justifiably and rightly cited defense as being the trigger for everything. But your confidence has to be at a fairly high ebb. It's I think it's 11 of the last 12 games you scored in double figures, and you know this was one of the best teams you played this year. If you don't want to talk about scoring 19 points, then talk about the confidence that you must have to put up the shots that help you get 19.
I think after every game, my confidence is building bigger and bigger. I mean, getting stronger. I'm just trying to keep coming out and help my team win, so that's all I'm really trying to do.
8 boards. What do you account for that?
I didn't even know I had 8 rebounds.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
I don't know. I was just trying to, they kept telling me to box out. I mean, I had someone 6'6" on me, so I didn't have much over him, so I just tried to box out and get the ball.
Sebastian, you had to do a lot of everything in this game. You ran some point because Charlie obviously was having some foul trouble. You had to defend. You got your hands on a lot of 50-50 balls. And it seemed to me from where I sat that you were kind of setting a tone for the way that you guys needed to play to beat this team today. Was that in the back of your head?
yes. Like I mentioned before, I'm spearheading this defensive charge, and we're going to get back to what we do defensively. Cleveland State basketball is one of the older guys. I got to set that tone and keep that intensity at all times, and that's where we're growing in that thing right now. So.
Let me also ask you. Coach said you guys played hard against Wright State, but they kind of but they beat you. So how important was it to bounce back from that game, and then to put a pretty good defeat on the team that was tied for first place in the league? I mean, good for morale, good for momentum, both.
Both. Our practices have been very well for the last 2 weeks as coaching staff. We've been practicing really well and setting this momentum into these last 3 games. So, we're still working. We're still working, and they're on the road. They hit some shots. Sometimes the ball is just that 50-50 ball is just not going to fall away.
Anything else for Sebastian?
Sebastian, what does it say about this team? Had some tough losses, but to not get down and come out and play very well against a team that maybe people assume that you guys wouldn't play well against?
See, this is the thing. We are toughness, and our team, we don't want that to slip away from us. So we're gonna show, that we can still play. We're young, but we can still play. And we're not waiting for next year to be good. We're gonna try this year.
All right, thanks, guys. Questions for Coach?
Good job, guys.
Coach, it seemed like in the second half they never got that run. Usually teams get runs when you have a big lead. Your defense was very good in the second half. Can you talk about that?
Well, I thought that was the key because we gave them a lot of opportunities to run in the second half. I mean, we were doing things that was out of this world on offense. But I thought that we still buckled down and committed to the defensive end, each possession. Our goal was coming into this game was to hold them in the 60s because they averaged almost 80 points a game. Hold them in every game they have played in the 60s, they have lost. So that was one of our goals. The second goal was very important to stop their transition, and they only got 10 points in transition. They averaged 26 points a game in transition. So I thought the areas that we had to stop and lock down, I thought we did a great job on. The thing that I thought hurt us, there's two things hurt us, I thought. I thought we turned the ball over, which allowed them to get some offense. And two, we gave them second chance points on the rebound. I mean, and I thought we could have did much better than that, but, I'm going to take everything we can get from this game.
Also not take with the free throws.
Oh, yeah.
What does it mean to you, what does it mean to the overall effort? Since it's hardly a secret that in some games this year you've struggled to score, to have a freshman come out and pop 19 in the first half, because every time they made a basket, he went down and knocked down a three.
Well, for some reason, he was open every time. when you're open, you need to pop that down. When we were in Wright State, we started that game off, and it was close early. But what occurred was we had at least 4 or 5 open looks just like that. It never went in. And that can happen on the road, so you got to be prepared for that. What we didn't do and solidify was our defense on the road, and that's why they were able to do that. Today, I thought not only did we knock the shot down, we had our defense be the charge, and it's pretty obvious. We shot 51%, 57% from 3. I mean, you're shooting the basketball. But in order to beat a team like that, you got to have a game like that. Yeah. I had told them this. I said somebody's got to have an extraordinary game, and I told them we got to shoot the ball if we're going to beat this team.
Every one of their 9 field goals in the second half was inside. Obviously, they were committed to the inside. What did you guys look at and see what they were trying to do offensively?
Well, they were trying to. They felt that they weren't hitting their outside shots, so they were trying to get closer to the basket. See, they play a 5-out offense, so normally if you're guarding all 5 guys, there's no one in the hole. So what we told our guy, one guy had to be in the hole, either the 4 or the 5. The problem that happens is if you guard Minerath, he may be the one outside. So, it's a hard thing to do, but I thought our guys did a good job. They followed the game plan. What we wanted to do, and this is what our concept was, is when who's ever got the ball on one side of the floor, I want 2 guys zoning up in the lane on the opposite side. We called it a zone.
Your 2 centers today combined for 12 points and 10 rebounds. I mean, I'm going to assume
15 and 8. That's my goal every game, because that's what Anton left away with there. 15 and 8. And I told them we got to make that up. Who's going to make it up? And maybe one guy make it up, but I said I'm giving all 3 of you guys. Now Aaron had a concussion, so he's out for a little bit. But I wanted those post guys to come up with 15 and 8.
How about the minutes that Marlon gave you early in the second half?
Well, I thought they were solid minutes. And I thought he made some plays that really got us going. And we got to get him involved with us because he's another key factor for us.
Can we see Junior extend his minutes as we go forward, or are we at about 20 minutes?
Well, he's probably not going to get more than 20, just because of all the rotations. But I got to see Junior get some points for me. That's what I got to see. That 5 points ain't good enough. He's too good for 5 points.
Coach, it's now on to the Wisconsin double, Milwaukee and then Green Bay.
Ooh,
Historically, CSU does not do well.
Well,
when they go
no,
over.
see, I think we say CSU. I'm telling you, around the entire league, no one does well there. I'm serious. If you go check the record, no one does well on that road swing. And whenever we have had success, we've won one or two of them.
Right.
Didn't you win both games up there a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
Didn't that kind of turn your season around right there?
They started the season up there.
We started them.
Yeah.
You know, they were a little cold at that